All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Peak to Middle School. My name is Narwhal.
My name is Kyle.
And this is my sister, Morgan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Morgan.
Morgan's a little nervous, but I told her it's okay. We're just going to have a fun time. We're going to tell some stories, ask her some questions. Just right off the bat, I want to talk about our similarities and differences as siblings. Because there's some things that I've noticed, and I want to know what you think about it. So,
wait. Do you guys think you look alike?
See, I don't see it, but I feel like most siblings
I think you guys look very alike.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird with like a girl and a guy. Like, I feel like everybody's like, you and your brother are twins. I'm like, how is that even possible? I'm dark skinned, dark hair, dark everything, and you're light. You can never tan. Like light brown hair, like blue eyes.
You're
like,
pale. You're disgusting.
You're short. You're ugly.
No, but I think our like facial features, like our eyes.
Yeah, your eyes.
Shapes,
is what I'd say.
and like our awesomeness are pretty much.
Like, I will say you're tanny. Like your tan though, I think that was like a result of your dedication to tanning. Like I don't think it's just that you were naturally like if you didn't tan a ton in high school, I don't think you'd be as.
Yeah, I definitely worked for it.
Yeah,
like every vacation, it was like John does fun things. I lay and tan for 8 hours every day.
Dang.
Yeah.
But I will say, Mom, Dad, and you are all substantially tanner than me.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
You're
weird.
adopted. That's why.
Wow.
This is where I was going to tell you on the podcast in front of the world.
Truth.
So right off the bat, and maybe you can step in too, since you have an outsider perspective.
All right.
So first, let's do our similarities first. So, one thing that I know about myself, and I guess I've noticed about you. So let's see what you think about it. But when I'm telling a story or explaining something that happened, I am so bad at keeping things concise. Like I feel like I need to explain every little detail, and it takes like 30 minutes.
Whereas
I do that too.
To get to the point. Whereas Kyle, but I feel like you could just tell a story and just. If you have to explain it in 2 minutes, you can.
Well, thank you.
Kyle's not related to us though. That's why.
And like I think you and I both. Not that it bothers me, but like sometimes like I'll be on the phone with you and I get the point. I'm like okay, and then you just keep going and going. I'm like okay. But it's like it's because you're so outgoing and like.
And just like detail. I'm very detail oriented, but the same thing with like telling a story. Like my boyfriend Zach says all the time. Like I'll be starting to tell a story and he'll be like. After 5 minutes, he's like, "Okay, wait, have you gotten the story yet, or is this just like the pre-story to the story?" Like, I just like have to give the background context. And half the time when I tell stories, people are like, "Morgan, you've already told me." I'm like, "Well, I just wanted to make sure I told every important person in my life that like the same story because I think it's cool."
Because I feel like with a lot of stories and situations that were like funny or crazy to you, it only makes sense about why they are funny or crazy if you explain the context.
Exactly.
And if you don't, then they're just like, "Why was this an important story?" You know?
Yeah. I mean, that still happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, we're very much the same. Like, if I'm getting really excited about something, I'm gonna be like, I have to tell you 800 times, like, and I kind of forget who I tell what to. And so I'll be like starting a story, and I'm like, oh, and by the way, like, so and so's brother's girlfriend like ate this for breakfast. Oh, but that doesn't matter. And then get back to the point. Like, it's really weird. I would agree.
Yeah.
Very much the same.
Do you notice that? Does that ever annoy you? Are you ever like thinking in your head like, all right, John, come on?
Honestly, I've never really noticed it that much, but now that you talk about it, I guess I kind of notice it now. But I don't think it's
maybe
that
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, I don't think it's that bad. I'll call you out next time.
Okay. Yeah, you can be like, all right, John, we get it.
I feel like I do that too, though. Like sometimes I'll just kind of go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part is when I have been doing that and I don't realize that I do it. You know, if I've told the same story like 3 times to my boyfriend, he's like, he waits till the very end when I'm done to be like, oh, I've already heard that. And I'm like, why did you let me get to the end though? Because I wasted like 10 minutes of breath.
I mean, you feel stupid, but I actually appreciate people that will let you do it even though because they don't want to like hurt your feelings.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
Like the worst thing ever is when you're like really passionate about something or you have a story that you think was really cool and you tell it to people And you can tell that the people just like,
Don't
as
care.
the longer you talk, the less and less they care.
Yep.
Yeah.
And eventually they just ignore you entirely.
Well, that's like when you have this like really funny dog YouTube video or like some cat falling off the couch and you're like, oh my God, this is so funny. Let me show you. And then you
no
like
one
start
laughs.
to show
They're
them
like,
somebody and they're like,
oh.
you can tell they're kind of like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is dumb.
And then you're showing the video and you're like
wait,
looking
no,
at them.
I promise it's going to be funny. in,
Yeah.
Like
30
looking back and
seconds.
forth at them to
Yeah,
see if they're laughing.
hoping they smile. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's like when I find a comedian that like I love.
yeah.
Like I love dumb comedy. And so
Yeah.
like that Sebastian Maniscalco,
We did-
like
You were on my
love
ass
it.
about watching that every day. Hey, so have you watched the new Netflix special yet? I'm like, not yet, but we did, and it was good.
Yeah,
It was worth
but
it.
like some people have different sense of humor, so I was like, I know he'll like this, and then
Yeah.
if they don't, I'm like, well, this is awkward.
The worst is when like if I watch something that's funny and there's someone that I know their particular sense of humor, and I'm like, I promise you, if you watch this, I promise you will actually find it funny. And then sometimes people are just like, no, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, no, but like you would like it if you just gave it a chance.
Yeah,
I feel like I do that sometimes.
You
where I
do-
just don't watch the things that you tell me to watch.
Dude, and like I've known you for so long that I know you would find it funny, and you're just like, it's okay.
shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kinda
Now I just want to mention one difference that I've noticed, and then if you have a couple, you can, or anything,
Okay.
you can say them. But one thing that I wish I could do that I just can't is like if you meet a stranger or a person that you sort of know or like a family friend that you haven't seen in a while, you could literally talk to like someone you haven't seen in like 20 years forever. You could just keep going, and it's like it's a very cool character trait that I feel like Kyle and I are just not like
No,
that.
I'm not like I'm definitely
Like
not
I
like
would
that.
just avoid talking to strangers at all costs. But if there's someone you don't really know, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh my God, like last time I saw you was like 17 years ago, and you like ate that for lunch, right?" And they'll be like, yeah. How do you remember that? You know?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm definitely that way, and I don't know if it's a matter of just being like very outwardly outgoing, but like, I would say like I used to be. I mean, I'm still very extroverted. Like
Yeah.
I love people, love talking. But like in high school and back like growing up, like I was so extroverted. I was like have to be around people at all times, talk to anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Now I'm more of like an extroverted introvert. Like I love to be home, and like I've definitely as I've out after college, like I feel like I'm a lot more calm in a sense,
Yeah.
but like still love to talk to strangers. Like
Yeah.
but it has to be like in the right context. Like if somebody looks like they're friendly, I'll like peg people. Like on the bus, I'll be like, that lady looks really nice. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
hi to her. And then
Yeah.
like, but I'm not just gonna like, I don't go and like talk to every stranger. But yeah, like people
Yeah.
like that. I love like making connections where it's like I see a teacher from 7th grade and I like remember this project I did. And I feel like people like respect that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. Like but then sometimes like we'll be in a situation and like Zach or a friend will be like, really, do we have to say hi to these? I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I have to. Like I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
And then it usually goes well.
Like if someone was to come up on the bus and like some random person was to talk to you, or if it was me and Kyle and some random person was to come ask us a question, we would give them like a quick answer and then look back at our phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas you would give them an answer
And then
be
engage
like,
with them.
"Oh, like I like your shoes," or like, "Where are you going today?" And then you would like continue it, which
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people appreciate. But I just get so uncomfortable that I just like
Yeah.
don't do
Yeah.
that.
And but then also you said that if like you'd see a teacher, you'd say hi to them that you had before. There's a teacher that we work with. There's a lady that we work with that I know was my LASS teacher in 6th grade, and I have not
He's
said a
never,
word to
the
her.
whole time we've worked there, he's never addressed her. But like, what's funny is that Kyle thinks that he's like, oh, she probably doesn't remember me. I
don't
think
think she
you'd be
does.
surprised. I think teachers have like very good memory. I think a lot of teachers
yeah.
will remember like a majority of their students.
I think if you're like a standout student, like I think like
I don't
teachers,
think
year.
I was. I was student of the year the next
won
year.
student
if you're
of the
like pretty average, I feel like they probably remember like their top favorite students and then like the bottom worst students
Yeah.
ever, and they probably like
Yeah.
forget the middle. I don't
Yeah.
know, like that's my perspective. But at the same time, like if I were a teacher, like I remember girls we used to play basketball against, like their number, their first and last name, the way that they dribbled,
yeah, and
like
you never even talked
I'm
to
that
them.
and
way
I've
too.
never talked to them. It was just a matter of like hearing their names. So I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's like Paisley. She was playing on Stanford, like number 30.
Yeah.
And people will be like,
What?
what? How
Yeah.
do you remember
That's
that?
how
Like,
how Kyle is.
Yeah, I'm that way too.
Right, yeah.
Kyle remembers. He's like, hey, do you remember in 5th grade when we played at that tournament that was in Oregon and we played against that one kid with the red headband? I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's in West Virginia now.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you know that?
I will say it's like not like, I mean, it's cool that I remember that, but it's not very useful. Like I wish I
Yeah,
remembered
it's
like when I'm on a social studies test in high school and I'll be like, God, what was that on that page?
Exactly.
Page
Yeah.
32, like the picture. What
I
was
don't
it
remember
about?
those things.
Me neither.
I will say in high school I was really good at doing like cramming for a test right before where you
Good
like
crammer.
there's a bunch of things you don't know and then you like try and just like 5 minutes before ingrain them in your brain.
Or write them on your wrist.
or yeah, or that.
Or your desk too,
Yeah.
and then erase it after. I did that a few times.
But like I was really good at remembering things for like just 30 seconds, enough to like where I would get the test, scribble them down real quick, and then I just lost it
Gone.
forever. It was
Yeah.
just gone.
Yep. Oh yeah, I have short-term memorization capabilities.
Yeah.
I think I'm not a photographic memory by any means. Like those
I
people,
wish I was.
bless up,
Yeah.
very jealous.
Honestly.
But like I can, yeah, if I like remember the note cards and the order that I studied the note
Oh,
cards,
yeah.
I'll be like, okay, I know that they have in my handwriting, like that's
Yeah.
what it
Oh,
says, and then I'll like write it down, and then it's
Yeah.
it's gone. If you ask me to like recall something an hour
Yeah.
later, even nope.
Yeah.
Dang.
The worst is those teachers that would like give you a study guide with the questions in a certain order, and then on the test they were all mixed up. Like it was the best if you had a teacher that was cool and would just like keep things in the same order that you studied them.
Yes.
Totally. I think it's a matter of like the teacher being lazy or not. You know,
Yeah.
like do they want an easy grading
Honestly, the
system?
lazy
Like,
teachers were usually like the coolest teachers.
Yeah.
Like I feel
You
like the
probably-
teachers that were actually good teachers, people didn't really like them that much.
right?
Yeah, it's true actually.
No,
Dang.
it's funny. One of my Mr. Enzi, like best teacher I've ever had, like best teacher a lot of people ever had it at Pine Lake Middle School. When you guys peaked, obviously,
Yeah.
but like
Back in the day.
I still see him all the time, and like it's just the best. It makes me so happy when I see him because there were
Yeah.
like so many good memories from like in theory the best time of your life. You know, like
Yeah.
middle school is super fun, and then high school is obviously great for some people, not
Yeah.
great for others. But like
Yeah.
this is the one teacher that like forever I will have like the best memories. So like
Yeah.
that's an example. Like I saw him at Costco last week and like I got so excited, gave him a hug and was like, "What are you doing?" And we were like trying to shop but like trying to chat at the same time. So like our carts were going like this. We kept
Yeah.
like running into people and we're like, "Okay, bye." And then like,
Yeah.
still trying to talk.
That's awesome.
But he's great.
I have a couple teachers like that. Do you have any teachers?
No.
Where like to this day, like if you saw them, you'd be so happy. Like, oh my god, hey, like no one.
I mean,
Not
like
one?
there's teachers that I liked, but I don't know. I feel like I was just so quiet that like no teachers know me.
You didn't really like
You're not
connect with
that
anyone.
quiet though.
Yeah, like I'm
But
not
in
quiet.
school,
Yeah, in
maybe.
school, yeah. Especially
Yeah.
like in high
I feel
school,
like
I was so quiet in
You
high
were
school.
definitely like I feel like in high school you were kind of the person who's just like, all right, I'm gonna go, but like get me the fuck out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah,
like
dude.
Kyle was just like
Yeah.
go and then leave. And
I
you-
hated high school too.
Yeah.
I really hated high school.
You're like one of those people though where like I've never known you as shy, but like I could see how you could be shy.
Yeah.
Like obviously growing up, like being hanging out with you guys all the time, it's like I knew you from like every stage of life, and like a lot
Sucks
of
for
your
you.
friends. No, but like my thing is like I'm like, how is he shy? Like you're
Yeah.
never shy, and
Yeah.
whereas like in different contexts though, there are certain
Yeah.
people that are like so quiet at school, and then like outside of school, they're like a whole different person.
That's me.
That's Kyle.
What?
Yeah.
You've literally watched Kyle grow up.
Yeah.
You've seen him through the whole process.
Yeah. What was I like?
Yeah. What do you have any like?
I mean, I
Memories
just
of
remember
Kyle?
you being like the pickiest eater ever. Like
Yeah,
when
I was.
every
He
kid,
still
like
is.
you still are, yeah. Like when every time you guys would come over, and still to this day, I guess it's like, what are you eating? Oh, DiGiorno's frozen pizza. Oh,
Well,
great.
okay, but that's
What do you
also
eat?
John.
That's
John
true.
only eats pizza.
John, like what I don't get one thing about your friend group, like we are very different in this sense. Like I mean, I like sugar. I like junk food to a point, to an extent. Like I don't love fast food, but like I like junk food. Like I
Okay,
like
yeah,
candy,
yeah, yeah.
ice cream, whatever. You guys eat like the most unhealthy I've ever seen. Which I guess maybe most, I would say, adolescent, whatever,
I mean,
adult,
I think-
young adult guys do. But like
Yeah.
I love healthy food, and I feel like you hate it. Like you
I
guys
don't know
both
how you
like.
see. Question. I feel like people who say they genuinely like kale or like
Oh no.
I don't think they
Yeah, no,
actually.
ew.
But like
I've tried
when
to
you say
like
you
kale.
like healthy food, do you actually like thoroughly like? Oh my god, I'm looking forward to this, or is it like this doesn't suck as much as like other healthy foods.
Yeah,
I guess I would say I like the sacrifice of eating healthy food for like feeling better.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, if I could change one thing about myself, like have a superpower, it'd be like, oh, eat whatever the hell I want and then still be like, look like a supermodel,
Yeah.
which I don't have either of those right now. But like, if that were the case, like I envy you guys because it'll be like, oh, what are you making? Oh, dino nuggets, chicken. Literally all you eat is
forgot
chicken
about those.
strips
Dude, yeah.
or chicken nuggets,
Dino
French
nuggets.
fries,
Yeah.
burgers.
I
And
mean,
pizza.
I think yes, it's still bad when we hang as a group,
Yeah.
but I
yeah.
think individually,
Yeah.
I've got a lot like better. Like that, Kyle and I were talking about this last night. Between like 6th grade to 12th grade, I literally never once thought about what I was eating.
Me too.
Like
Oh, never.
I
too.
would eat,
And it was
anything
amazing.
whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I remember you would come home from school in like middle school and high school after basketball practices or whatever, and you would eat ice cream just like out of the
Oh.
container.
I would do that too.
It was like the best. Literally, my post high school, every single day of high school, because obviously we played like multiple sports. It was
Yeah.
like fall, you were doing like pre basketball training and then basketball season, track season. It was like every single day you burned like 1,000 calories at practice or whatever. And so it was like,
Just restock. with
yeah,
some ice cream.
every day after school. Well, for one, I packed this. We've always packed our own lunches, which
Yeah.
like I'm glad our mom didn't like baby us. You know, we would pack our own lunches, aka we would pack like huge bag, like not just like a Ziploc bag of goldfish. Like the Ziploc
Yeah.
was full of goldfish,
Yeah.
and like then it would be like PB&J, apple, granola bar, like 8 things for lunch. And now if I ate that, I'd be like, that's enough food for all day,
Yeah.
you know. But like eat the lunch, then come home from school, and it was always Tillamook mudslide with the chunks of dark chocolate.
Those are good.
Post school snack before practice, then after practice to be like lasagna plus garlic bread plus salad.
Yeah. I mentioned this once on the podcast, but I will say it. I will say this till the day I die. If you guys listening want the best ice cream ever, get Tillamook Mudslide.
What's the brand though? I can't remember.
Tillamook is the
Oh,
brand,
duh.
and then it's called like Mudslide.
Yes.
Kyle might think it's overhyped, but I'm just gonna say.
I'm not saying it's overhyped. I'm just saying it's not the best.
Okay. I think it's
best.
the
Ben
best.
and Jerry's, like
Well,
easy or
yeah.
easy bake, half bake,
Oh,
easy
bake
bake.
oven?
Have you guys ever tried easy bake oven food?
Yeah.
I always wanted one, but like I
that's
thought it was
when
too
I
weird.
became a cook.
Wait, you
or
could
chef.
oh, you could actually eat out of those things?
Yes.
Was it good?
It was.
Oh.
I mean, they were like, I don't know.
It's like one cupcake?
Well, they were literally like mini cupcakes like this. And for girls, it was like you mix the little powder in water. And then it was like teaching you how to be a housewife at age like 8.
It's really sad.
Which is
Yeah.
sad. But then you put in this little like oven thing. And I don't even know how it cooked, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
was it
they
battery
look-
powered?
Yeah,
like,
they're like-
plug in? I don't remember.
So don't
But-
kids like burn themselves all the time on those things?
I just
Like
feel
I would be stupid and reach in and grab it. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I think it would literally just like go in like the conveyor belts at Krispy Kreme. You know, like it would go in
go
there,
in and, like,
and then it
come
would
out.
like bing, and it would like pop out, and then you'd be like, "Oh my god, my muffin's done in 30 seconds."
My
Like,
one muffin.
Dude, that
was
sounds
weird.
just like that just sounds worse than Lunchables even.
Oh, that's so gross.
Well, do you realize like so much has changed from when like we were growing up to now? Like just in terms of like the health and the way like at least we were raised,
true.
like. Our mom, like, our parents are awesome, and like we were never like restricted on like, oh, you can only have whole grain, no sugar, blah blah blah. But like
Yeah.
at the same time, now I'm like, I kind of wish we're forced to eat a little healthier.
Yeah.
Because like
Willing.
growing up, a lot of adults, like young adults, people our age, like aren't educated on that, and we're like, what? We ate tricks every day growing up. Like, isn't that healthy?
Yeah.
Like balanced
Yeah.
breakfast, you know? But
yeah.
anyways, like all that stuff was so chemical or
Yeah.
chemically.
It was gross. I will say
Processed.
I'm kind of the only thing that bothers me about like the way we were raised and that our parents let us eat whatever we wanted is that like now it's so hard to kind of break the habit of like I would have frozen pizza like 5-6 days a week, like
Yeah.
all the time, and like ice cream every night. And now like since I'm sort of trying to get healthier, not like a lot, but a little bit, it's like when I'm hungry, my go-to is just like, oh, I'll just go get a frozen pizza. But it's like now I realize
like,
that like
oh.
one of those pizzas has like 6,000 calories or something.
And
so-
well, you could do the alternative of cauliflower crust pizza from Trader Joe's and make it yourself.
Oh, yum.
Oh.
That sounds so.
Nothing I'd love more than getting some cauliflower crust.
Oh,
I
man.
remember one time Morgan tricked my dad and I. She said she was making mashed potatoes and it was cauliflower, right?
Yeah.
Cauliflower mashed potatoes.
Was it good?
And she's like I didn't know why she was being so weird that night. But she's like, so how's your mashed potatoes? And I was like, I don't know, they're fine. And she's like, and then like 20 minutes later, she's like, oh, so I see you ate all your mashed potatoes. You must have liked them. And I was like, yeah, they were good. And she's like, ha, they were cauliflower.
Yeah, I
You
do
guys
that
are like,
quite often.
Yeah.
Like puke after.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, I mean, that's the thing with being healthy. Like, yeah, if I want like mashed potatoes, like, but mashed potatoes aren't that good for you. Like, I will try the healthy alternative. Sometimes it's absolute shit, and I'm like, I'm never gonna
Yeah.
eat that again. Like,
But sometimes it's like
kale chips.
worth
I'm like,
the
eh.
sacrifice of taste.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, oh, this isn't terrible. That's like when I make like gluten-free, so, like I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, all these like weird, annoying allergies. But
You're
like,
just free.
You're free.
free of everything. No, but I'll make like this, I don't know, gluten-free pasta dish or something, and like I'll make it for dinner, and I'll be like, Zach, how was it? And he'll be like, well, I mean, it was like good, but like it'd be a lot better if it had all the gluten and all the dairy. Like if it was chicken Alfredo with
Yeah.
normal pasta, it'd be better. But relative, you know.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Wait, I want to say one memory I have of you two.
Oh, yeah.
This is one time that John freaked out on Morgan. I remember one time.
I remember quite a few
A
of
few
these.
of those.
Yeah.
This is just one that I remember.
Okay.
John just made some pizza rolls, and John, he takes them out of the oven, puts them on a plate, and walks away for a second. And I'm standing in the kitchen, just like standing with his pizza rolls. Morgan comes over and takes a pizza roll, and John comes in and goes, "Did you see my pizza roll?" She's like, "Yeah." And then you picked up the plate. Morgan picked up the plate and was like trying to run away, and John like tackled her, and like luckily the pizza rolls didn't spill, because I would have been sad too. But like you were just like fighting her over the pizza rolls, and you were just like you were like,
I was trying to eat them as fast as
yeah.
possible.
And John was like hitting you and yelling like, "Oh my god, I hate you!"
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate.
there was quite a few of those. I vividly remember one time in the summer, Morgan and her friends were over, and like obviously like I would get frustrated with you over like the stupidest things like all the time.
We like
but,
always fought as
but I would
kids.
get more frustrated when you had friends over, because I felt like Susie would kind of like join in on the frustration, and you guys would like tag team me.
Oh, for sure.
But like not like
But not on purpose. It would just be like, oh, it's 3 girls against 1. Aha, you're
and-
4 years younger.
And it was just like stupid stuff. But I remember one time you had like 2 or 3 friends over. And so like when I freaked out, I didn't want to freak out in front of them or like in the house.
was embarrassing
So I
for
went
you.
outside and I went down. We have like a big front yard. And I went all the way down to the front yard and I just started like screaming. Like not even saying anything. I was just like,
So much rage.
I was gonna say, you definitely like growing up. I feel like you had like growth spurts where it'd be like, oh, John has anger management. Oh, he's calm. Oh, he has anger management again. Oh, he's calm. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
I still have
Puberty
anger
came in like
management.
very weird stages. Like
I still have anger management tendencies, I would say. Like, because
that a
Kyle knows
thing?
if it
Yeah.
gets past a certain hour at night, I get very grumpy.
Yeah, we used
And
to just
I'm
like
aware of it, but it
go
just
after
happens.
him for it, because like John would like literally New Year's. This was like before we like drank or anything, so it was like we
Yeah.
were just like 3 guys like on the couch. It was like me, him,
you
and
could make
Jordan.
a TV show
And
about
we all like
that.
popped those little poppers on New Year's, and John like wanted to just go to bed right on New Year's, and we're like, dude, no, he wanted to go to bed before New Year's, and then he was so grumpy, and we popped all the poppers, and he's like, you guys are gonna pick those up, and he like goes to bed, and we're like, all right, Happy New Year, dude, and then we like jump on his bed, and then he would like yell at us, and good
I
times.
was
Yeah.
so tired.
Well, I just
What
feel
do
like you didn't know
expect?
how to like express your emotions in like a verbal way. Like you were a very non-verbal person,
more of, like,
even
a
from
punch you.
birth, and that probably is my fault. I will say like our childhood was awesome. Like, and I think we've grown a lot closer as we've gotten older,
Yeah.
like every year. But like growing up, it was like I was always the way too talkative, like annoying to the point where I was like, dude, shut up for 5 seconds. Like our parents used to have to play the quiet game like with us in the car. Well, with me probably.
Yeah.
Like John didn't speak till he was like 4, so like you know
you
it
serious?
was.
Oh, that's a whole story I should tell
Yeah.
sometime.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
I forgot about that.
You
And
didn't
I-
talk to your 4?
My mom thought I had, like, she thought I couldn't speak. My mom took
Yeah,
me
it
to the doctor,
was
thought I had a
sad.
disability.
Wow.
No, I
'Cause
think
I
it was
wouldn't-
my fault. Like, well, I don't know. There's all these probably conspiracies, but like not conspiracies, but like theories. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
I talked so much to the point where like my mom was like, "Well, yeah, he could never get a word in. Like that's why he had problems." I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, yeah, I don't know." But like growing up, it was like I was always talking, and they're like, "Dude, this girl needs to shut up." So we would in the car, they'd be like, "Okay, we're gonna play the quiet game," and it'd be like, "Okay, for 5 minutes," and like be sitting there, and I instead of like talking, I'd be like just make all these like noises, and like
Yeah.
I get so bored like if it's quiet.
Yeah.
It just
I remember
I like
we'd be
have
like,
to be doing
we'd
something.
be like, all right, let's play the, even like when I got a little older and would be like, just like thought it was fun to be like, all right, guys, let's play the quiet game. I'd be like, 1, 2, 3, go. And Morgan would be like, I lose. Like, that's not the point of the game.
Yes. Oh my God. It like, for some reason, like silence, even now, like I cannot sit if like we're going on a road trip or something, like I do not like absolute silence. Like it just like I really, and it's not that I'm like in my own thoughts. I'm just kind of like, what's the point? Like, why would we be silent if we could be talking?
Yeah.
You know? And my boyfriend's like the complete opposite. He'll be like, can I
crave
just
silence.
have 20 minutes of peace?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And I feel like you're the same way. Like we're very opposite in that sense where it's like, I have to be like, go, go, go. I don't like downtime, and you definitely
Yeah.
like your downtime to like recharge and like not get angry.
Yeah.
Like because if you go too much, kind of like our mom, like you get burnt out and you're like
Yeah.
you need your time. Whereas
Yeah.
I'm like alone time. Why? I can do that when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay,
stuff.
well, I'm just curious. Do you have any like embarrassing John stories you'd like to share with the world?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So like.
you can tear me
Well,
apart.
for one, okay, I will say like different stages of life. Like for now, like okay, in high school, like when I was in high school, we were 4 years apart. So like when I was a senior, we never really like got to go to school together except for elementary school. So like
Yeah.
when I was a senior,
I was
you
in
were-
8th grade.
Yeah, you were 8th grade. So it was just like, yeah. So like we didn't necessarily have like those embarrassing stories, and like I would have never tried to embarrass you anyways because that would
Yeah.
be humiliating going into high school, you know. But like from growing up, like. I would say embarrassing, and I will definitely have to like post pictures maybe in the comments or something. But like
Okay.
I danced, like I would say I'm like a girl. I'm not like a girly girl. Like I played basketball and like pretty athletic in that sense. But like
Yeah.
I danced growing up, you know,
Yeah.
and so like I would have all these costumes from recitals and stuff. And John. And like obviously there were no question, like he was always like straight, but like he would dress up we would dress him up, like we would force dress him up in girl costumes
Me too.
all the time, and like he enjoyed it was the thing. And like we would like
Oh, wait a second.
well, this was when you were
I
really
wanted
little,
to-
like four to
I wanted
6.
to look like a princess.
I know of one
Oh,
picture.
but yeah, there was pictures like
Yeah.
this purple like dress, and we'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, John, pose, and he'd be like in this ballet skirt, and like we would come up with like me. So it was my cousin and I, Athena and I, and then you and Chris. So like our cousins were the same age as us, and
Yeah.
2 boys were younger, and so we would just be like, oh my god, let's play dress up, and we would kind of like coerce them. Like I was very controlling, I would say. Like I would coerce him into like playing dress up, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
it's so fun, like I'm gonna force you to wear girl clothes, and then we're gonna put makeup on you, and then we're gonna perform this skit in front of
my
our
God.
parents.
Oh yeah, we did skits.
We
we
did
like
skits.
we're like, all right, mom and dad, watch. And then,
Yeah,
like,
we were like those attention whore kids that like we apparently, like my mom always says this, like we could never sit still. Like we would not play by ourselves. Like it'd be like we'd
Yeah.
always have to be like, someone play with us, someone do this with us. Like we couldn't just like sit there in peace. And
Yeah.
like, which now it makes sense. Like I'm still like that, but like yeah, I would say that's one embarrassing story. Like we would dress him up and like take pictures and then like model and then be like,
Yeah.
okay, like we're gonna go perform, and we'd like make them be the backup dancers and we'd be like the lead singers, you know.
I'm so
like
glad we don't have that on video.
This sounds weirdly close to
probably
like
do.
me and my sister. Like she would dress me up and stuff and like put makeup on me, and she'd like tie me to a chair and like force feed me things. and, like-
Whoa.
Wow.
yeah, she tied me
Tie you
to
to a chair.
Well, I'll tell the story. She'll come on a podcast when she's in Madrid right now, but when she's back for the
Yeah.
summer, she'll be on. We can talk about the story.
Okay.
But they've tied me up and force fed me
I'm
things I
excited
didn't like.
to hear that.
It's dark. I don't want to think about it.
Bad
I
memories.
remember Morgan would like, she'd be downstairs watching TV, and if she had like forgot something upstairs, she'd be like, "Hey John, I'll time you and see how fast you can go to go grab my makeup or something."
Yeah, this is literally my sister too.
I feel like
like-
every older sister
And, like,
probably
wouldn't-
did that.
Yeah, you wouldn't actually time at all. You would just be like, I'd get back and be like, "Oh, that was 27 seconds. Wow, that was so
Our
fast."
dad still does that. Our dad does that with like little, like our family friends, like little kids or whatever, or like any little child. He'll be like, okay, I'm gonna time you. Go run to the backyard and back, like because he just doesn't want to be annoyed, and it's like, okay, like 1 minute and 27 seconds. And they're like,
Yeah.
you didn't even time, but you fell for it for about 5
long
years, and then
time.
finally you're like, no, you're not even counting. Like this is
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, one, not embarrassing, but like kind of just like annoying slash, I mean, maybe I deserved it, but annoying slash story when you were younger.
Okay.
John would totally pull the youngest child thing. Like, he would be like, I mean, I will say I was like kind of a brat growing up. Like, I was like a terror for like 10 years. And then like I hit 16 and I was like, okay, I'm like pretty normal now. But Like, I was so mean to you, and apologies. Like, looking back, I'm like, wow, I was like so mean. But, and I don't even know why. I was like, too much adolescence, like, same thing. Puberty,
Yeah.
I was like,
I would always go crying
rude
to
all the
Mom and be
time.
like, Mom,
Yes.
Morgan did this to me.
and even if I didn't, see, he would totally pull that. It was like the boy that cried wolf.
I would make things up.
Oh yeah. Well, like I
Oh.
was mean a lot, so Mom always believed it. Like it was
Yeah.
be like, oh my gosh, well, like, and I'd be like, well, John hit me, and he's like, well, yeah, but that's because you like hit me first, and then you scratched me, and then you hit my head against the wall. And she would always listen to John. I'm like, I did not do that.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, I mean, the youngest child always goes and cries to the mom, and then the older child, I feel like, goes to dad and is like, wait, like what? No, like I did not do that. And then the
Yeah.
dad's always like, well, your mom's in charge. So.
Yeah. I was such like a piece of shit when I was younger because I would do this thing where like, so one of my best friends growing up, his name was Trey, and I'd always be at his house, and his mom like loved me for some reason. And so basically whenever I was annoyed with Trey, like I found most of my entertainment and satisfaction in life as a child by like seeing how annoyed I can make other people, like
Yeah.
how easily I can get on
That's
their
true.
nerves,
Yeah.
which I still do that. I find it like that's one of my biggest forms of entertainment is getting on other people's nerves, just like intentionally being like, oh, hey dude, like stuff like that. And so sometimes with Trey, if he was annoying me, I would just yell like his mom's name. His mom's name was Melanie, and I'd be like, Melanie, Trey hit me, and he like didn't even hit me. He was just sitting there, and so she'd come in and start like punching him, and I don't
Whoa,
know. It was just the
child
funniest
abuse.
thing. Yeah, well, no, I meant she gave him a high five.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Just high fiving him.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean is not embarrassing. I would say not necessarily. Yeah, I mean you didn't do. John was like that angel child in high school. Like there was like no big embarrassing stories
John
that
never
like
like pooped
were
on the
like.
floor or something and like blamed it on
No, I mean
the
he
cat.
never like wet the bed. He never like slept walked.
Well,
he never
I
like.
did sleepwalk, and I pissed in my laundry basket on top of all my dirty clothes.
Oh,
do you remember that?
And my
Did I
dad
tell you that?
has
Think
done the
so.
same thing growing up. He used to do that. Dad used to do that.
It's a
he would
family
open.
thing.
He would open clean drawers of clothes.
Oh.
And those.
That's the
That
worst.
sucks.
Yeah. Well, and the
Yeah.
thing is, like, yeah. So in terms of embarrassing, I feel like, the one time. Well, this is just kind of funny and like goes to. I think we're both the same way. Like we will do anything for food, you know. And so like growing up, like this one time, John. This is not embarrassing. This is more just like sad. But we were playing in the family room, and then all of a sudden, my brother loved to put olives on his fingers, like all 10 of
know,
them, like black olives,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Olive fingers.
People and like I don't even know if you like to eat them. You were just like, oh my god, yes, olives on my hands.
That was just
like,
his thing. Is just
it's
olive
just, like,
fingers.
creepy. But like, so you were in the family room, we were playing whatever. And, I mean, you were probably like 5, 6 or something.
Pretty
and
young.
I was probably like 10. I don't know. And so Mom called like, oh, John, you know, I have olives. I opened olives. And you like sprint into the family room. And we have these like 2 slate like steps going from our family room up to our dining room. And like John being like the super speedy kid that he is, he's like trying to be athletic, and he like totally slips and he slams and
Bash my forehead.
bash his face into the slate. And it was
That's
the point
what the
where
scars from up here.
Yeah.
on the
Oh.
forehead.
well, and it was one of those situations where it was like we were having so much fun and playing, probably like actually liking each other for like 5 seconds, and then you like fell, and it was one of those where you're like you didn't scream instantly. Like I vividly
like- we
remember
talked
it,
about
and
this.
like, oh, you did already, yeah.
Well, no, just how little kids like they don't scream right away.
Yes.
They
Just
like
slam your
process
face
what
and they're like,
happens.
Well, and then
Yeah.
so yeah, then it would be like, and like obviously we screamed. We're like, "Are you okay?" And they were like, I go up and I'm like, I was like started crying and screaming, and then like
eyes.
you were like, "Oh shit, something's bad." And then Mom ran over, and it was like his forehead would just like it was that spot where like you hit it and it just pops open like a little
yeah,
like
your skin just,
yeah,
like,
your
splits.
skin is
And
just like really tight.
Meanwhile, he has olives on his fingers.
No, I
he hadn't
hadn't
even
gotten to the
gotten there.
olives.
Oh,
yet.
you were trying to
That-
get to the
I was
olives.
He was trying to do anything
I was
to get
racing to
food.
get olives.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
No, definitely not.
I mean, the
worth
scar
it.
is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I slammed my head at your house one time. You
Where?
don't even know about that. I haven't told anybody.
Whoa.
But like one
You're
time
hiding it
we were
from
having
me.
a sleepover and we were sleeping in sleeping bags in the gold room, and we were trying to hop like across. I was trying to hop across the house in my sleeping bag by myself, and I was hopping around and I somehow like slipped and fell and hit my forehead on a chair.
oh jeez.
And you guys like heard a crash and you're like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Nah, yeah, I'm fine." Meanwhile, I was just like, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad."
Wow, that's funny.
I was just
didn't know
embarrassed,
that.
I guess.
I this one story. I just don't want to forget this, so I'm gonna just tell it. When I was really young, we would have like, we haven't had a real family dinner in like years, like a long time, but we used to actually all sit around the table. And my dad one night like wouldn't let me leave until I ate all my broccoli or whatever, or the rest of the food
anything
on my
that
plate.
wasn't pizza.
Yeah, and I just like refused to eat it. And so he was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna sit here with you, and you're gonna sit here until you eat the rest of it. And I sat there for what, like at least an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like
to the point where dad like gave up.
Yeah, my dad literally gave up. He was like, all right, fine, I'm going to bed. And I was like, I won. I got him.
Yeah, that's another like different. Like we are very different. I would say in like our mannerisms sometimes. Like I say our personalities are like complete opposite, but then we have like different mannerisms that some are similar, some are different. But like that sense, like I will literally eat anything and everything. Like I'm like go with the flow, and you're like, if we go out to dinner, it can't be sushi. It can't be this. It can't
You're
be
calling
sushi.
me picky.
You do now.
He's
not picky,
like
but he's
sushi
more
now.
like particular. Like, oh, for example, like when
It's
milk.
kind of the same thing.
No, picky's like, I'm only gonna eat two things. You're very much like, well, if we go here, then it can't be in this place. It has to be Red Robin in Redmond, not in Issaquah, because like you're just very particular. For example, like the milk, like for like when we buy milk or yogurt or something, like. And maybe like we're on two opposite ends of the spectrum, but I'm like, oh, it expired a week ago. It still looks good.
Dude,
It's fine.
My
like,
whole family, except for me, they'll drink stuff that's been expired for like 4 days. I'm like, whoa.
I
guys.
mean, if it looks fine and it smells fine and it tastes fine, like it must be fine.
I'm scared of
Whereas
that.
John, no, John will look at a milk carton and he'll be like, Mom, this expires in a week. I do not like why. We need to get a new one. And like you will not touch it.
If
it's weird.
If it's the day before it expires or later, I won't touch it.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
It's like a sell by date. It's not like you have
There's
to
a difference.
consume.
Sometimes it says sell by blank, but sometimes it says expert, like EXPR, and then the date, and that means it's done.
One time I had at my friend's house, I found a Diet Coke that this was probably in like 2012. It had expired in 2003. Oh. And we were just like, oh, like let's just see what it tastes like. Dude, it tasted like butter. Like it was straight up tasted like butter.
That.
It was so gross.
Oh,
well, like I will say, like I'm definitely cleanly now as an adult in the sense that like if something is expired, I will throw it away at my own house. Like, but I'm like not that picky. You're like very particular about
and
certain
if a bread,
things.
if like my dad, if he sees bread that has like in a package of bread that in one piece has like a little piece of mold in the corner,
He'll just toss that one out and then
he'll just pick the piece of mold off and then put it in the toaster.
Whereas
like,
John will throw a whole loaf away.
I will not touch it.
I will say, like, once you're an adult now, but like once you're like an adult, like you have to pay for everything yourself. Like, I think you might change a little bit because I think that's when I
start eating
changed.
that
Like,
mold.
right? Yeah. I mean, well, now it's like I have to buy all my own groceries, pay for all my own rent. Like, I'm a full-on, I guess you could say, adult. But and so now I'm like, we are gonna make this last. Like, we're gonna eat everything in our freezer. We're gonna, if we have to eat just canned beans for a day, like we're eating that. Like, we're like gonna make sure. Whereas I think when we lived at home, it was like, oh, well, mom and dad are buying groceries, so
that's true.
Okay, well, for one, I was never a bad kid in high school. I'm talking specifically, but I think I was like, both of our friend groups were like amazing. I think we got really lucky. Like a lot of people hate high school because like they don't like their friends and like don't talk to their friends anymore. You know, like I think we still are like really close to our high school friends. Yeah. So, anyways, this is like one time in high school, like. I was never bad, but compared to John, it made me always look like I was a bad kid because like I would go, I don't know, my boyfriend was older at the time, and so I would like go to parties and like go to after parties of dances or whatever. So this one time we had this after party of homecoming, and I think it was my senior year. So it was like, okay, Dad, like I'm almost
at that
graduated.
Point, everybody's
like,
drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and like
yeah,
you guys are still angels.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's not like I said, I drank, but like I didn't do like bad things. Like I would never steal. I would never like drunk drive, whatever, like that kind of stuff. But like, for example, we had this after party. And so like a bunch of my date, and his name is Chase, he was like awesome. We were like such good friends. And like a lot of my friends, like since I live really close to where the after party was at my friend Rachel's, we all like put our booze in the back of my car. And I want to say like maybe I was like sharing a fifth with somebody. Like I wasn't really even planning on like, I probably wasn't going like buck wild. But like I was like, oh, we can just put it all in my car, and like we dropped my car off before the dance. So we drove it to the after party. The booze was in the back of my car. We went to the dance, and then whatever, went to homecoming. Then we were going back to the after party. Somehow, like, a parent or people's parents found out that like all this booze was in the back of our cars. Yikes. And for some reason I'm like, I thought mom and dad were cooler than this, but like there was some reason I show
expect?
Up. Yeah, like, I mean they knew like I drank, but I think it was a matter of like it was during basketball season. It was my senior year. Our dad was very particular about like if you're in the sports season, like he took basketball very seriously, and so did we. But like it was like I was not supposed to be drinking. I could get in trouble, whatever. So I think that was a big part of it. Second part of it, I was just like a diva, and I like that was when I like did not think my parents were cool. You know, it was like I just wanted to go against everything that I could. So whatever, so I showed up to the after party, and my car is not there, and I'm like, what? Like my car, like it didn't just disappear out of thin air. We showed up to the after party, and other people's cars are gone too, and I'm like, wait, where's my car? Two, where now everybody else's alcohol like is in my trunk, and I'm like,
so then you're the
I
one
screwed
who's
over
like
everybody
ruining
else.
the party.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
Morgan, where's all the alcohol?
Swear, like I don't know where my car is. Anyway, so then I had to call mom and dad, and they were like, oh yeah, we took your car back. There was booze in it. We found all the booze. Like you're in trouble. You're coming home right now. Whatever. Actually, no, they didn't make me come home. I like was like about to throw a fit, and I was like, you know what? It's not gonna ruin my night. Like I'm just whatever. Like we couldn't go get the alcohol, so we somehow had to get like other alcohol, and they're like, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And I'm like, okay.
Like, it's like hot jokes on you, mom and dad. We still got alcohol.
Yeah, right?
Suck it.
Like we still ended up having fun. Like I know it was like a good after party, like spend the night, whatever. But my point is, we lost all the booze, and like I felt so bad because I screwed my friends over. Then the next morning we had to have the talk because my parents were so mad at me. And I'm like, I did not, well, okay, at the time I was like, I did nothing wrong, you know, like I just like let people, and I think I probably said like, well, none of it was my alcohol. Like I would just let people keep it in the trunk. And so anyways, that was just like such, like, you know, when you just like disappoint your parents. Our parents were never like mean yelling. I mean, probably like once or twice, but like they were never like yelling. They'd just be like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And that was like the worst. And you're like, okay.
I will say though, like I do feel like they were kind of a bit extreme. Like
they were strict parents.
I never drank in high school, so it was never an issue. But like, I would say if I was like the majority of the kids in my grade who did drink, they would have. My parents would have been like very annoying to deal with. And they would have been the type of parents where. Like, there's the type of kids who have parents that are, like, understanding of it, and they know that people are going to drink regardless of if they try to stop it or not. Yeah, they'll be like, oh, we'll drink with you. Or they'll just be like, all right, just don't be stupid or whatever. But then there's, like, our parents who are like, you will not drink alcohol. And, like, that just makes things worse, in my opinion.
I know.
Like, I feel like that just makes kids way more, like, likely to lie and have to
that's when it can get bad, too. Like, if you try to hide it and then drive home or something. You know?
Totally. But at the same time, like, I think our parents were very strict, but they were never like, would never like show up to public events. Like they weren't like embarrassing strict like that. They were just like, they were like straightforward and strict. And like, these are the consequences, which like, sometimes I was like, you guys are the worst parents ever. But like looking back and even going into college, like, they I think definitely did the right thing for us at least. Cause then I was like, I knew like what choices were right and what were wrong. And if I chose to make the wrong choice, like I was going to have to deal with it. And like, I mean, I obviously did things where I was like, not supposed to, like, oh, you're not supposed to drink. You're not supposed to smoke weed. Like I would do it. And I definitely didn't tell them, but I also didn't lie about it. I'd be like, oh yeah, I was late for curfew. Like whatever. So
but I don't think like personally, I would never be not that like I don't really care that my parents were like that because I didn't drink in high school, so it didn't matter. But I don't think I would be like the way our parents were to my kids. Like I think I'll be like, listen, I know by the time you guys get to junior year, most of you guys are drinking, so like I don't care, just like don't be a dumbass. And
it's hard to say until you have kids though.
I was gonna say that I think,
but like looking at other people's parents who are cool like that, it always works out way better. Like
are the kids like good though?
I think it depends on how your kids are.
That, like have parents like that where they're like
if your kids are just like really shitty though.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
I guess if your kids are shitty, it's different.
I think ours were just like our parents are very like I don't even think conservative is the right word, but like they were very like
traditional.
Yeah. Not like overprotective. They were not helicopter parents by any means. Like I always like told the truth to, if they asked me, and if I like was like, oh, this is serious, like, okay, I'm gonna tell the truth. Or like, you know, they'd be like, oh, I'll pick you up, like no questions asked, which they did like a few times. Like they did that. And there was no questions that night. But then the next day it'd be an interrogation session. I'm like, wait, you said no questions asked.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was no questions that day.
Yeah.
And then the next day it was like, so where were you at 12:51? Where were you at this time? What were you doing? Why were you doing like okay. But that was one like I was an idiot, embarrassing for me. But you know, learning moment, I suppose.
We all have nights.
Yeah, right.
So the other week we did an episode with Willig, who goes to UW, and you also went to UW. And we kind of, Kyle and I both were never in a frat, obviously. And so we just asked him, like, what's it like being in a frat? Like, what's, like, some interesting things that we would have never known or blah, blah, blah. But, like, you were in a sorority. Is there any crazy stories you have of, like, craziness that happened or any weird stuff or any, like, initiation stuff you witnessed or were a part of or, like... Do you have any just weird college stories that stand out?
Not necessarily, like... weird. Yeah, I mean, it was super fun. Like, you know, I definitely I loved college. Like college, I mean, I don't know. I loved high school, and so I had very high expectations, and college was awesome too, but like in a different way. I worked a lot through college, so I don't think I was like as like sorority raha, like, oh my god, gonna be all my bridesmaids, you know, like usually like traditional sorority than like most people, you know, like some people are that way, and it's like best friends forever, best friends for life, or whatever. But like the sorority was great. Like there were some crazy stories for sure. Like for one like just like overarching idea. Like we had this chef. Like to a lot of people, it's like kind of weird to be like, wait, you had a chef in college? Like we had this cook, chef.
And they like live in the house?
Well, she doesn't live in the house, but like she was there every day.
That's pretty common, isn't it? For like frats and
it's common. But I think
for
people
like big
who,
schools, I
think people who aren't in the Greek community or
like,
whatever
why the
are like,
sounds
wait,
weird.
you live in a house with a chef? For one, it's like a house, but it's like enormous. Like if it were a normal house, it'd be a mansion, you know?
Yeah, but there's like a bazillion people in it.
Like I would say 80, 85 people, 90 people like live in it. Like the seniors live out. It's like 30 people. So yeah, every grade there's like 35 people. So anyways, like 90 or so live in the house. And so there's a chef, and then there's like houseboys. Houseboys were like the frat guys, and they like were assigned, like they basically like worked for us and like did the dishes and put the food out and everything. But like you would think that a bunch of girls like weren't as like psycho about food that guys would be, or like crazy. But like we, for example, like one day Irene was awesome. Like some people loved her, some people didn't. They were like really picky, but like she was like so sweet. She was like that traditional like I don't know, like Boston, like kind of rough around the edges gal, like strong accent, like what are you ladies doing, like, you know, like lunch isn't out yet, it's 11:29, it's out at 11:30, like that kind of person. Like so anyways, like girls went crazy about food though. Like we'd have like bagel bar, and we'd be like, what the heck? There's no everything bagels. There's only Asiago cheese and regular, and like we were just like so.
I feel bad for that lady,
right? Like she had to deal with so much, and
to her, she's probably like from like the East Coast or something, and like, oh my god, look at all these preppy girls.
Yes, like spoiled girls. Like they come down, they just like go to class, come back, lay in the
demand.
We had this room called the fish bowl, which was literally just like a little like living room. We'd like and it looked like a fish bowl, and with windows, and we would just like lay in there and watch TV or whatever, and we'd come in and be like, Irene, is lunch ready yet? Like it was just like so, and you like
Irene.
have to like line up for lunch, you know, for lunch and dinner or whatever. But like, so anyways, that one thing, like girls were just crazy about food, and they had to the point where like they had to lock the kitchen after dinner so that like when people went out at night, like they wouldn't come back and like
take
destroy the kitchen. Like some sororities had toast bar, so like toast bars when I don't know if Alec talked about this, but like toast bars when the sororities' kitchens are open. So like after a frat party, you know, all the girls would go over there, and then like afterwards guys would come back to the sorority and be like, hey, you want to like get some toast? Like after
such a weird,
everyone's like
hey, you
drunk, like do you want to come over and eat some cereal and toast and jam? And then, like, so our sorority, there was only a few that like didn't allow that, just because I think I don't know, people probably like abused it, and they wanted to like keep it clean, and so our kitchen was locked, but people we'd make late plates. So like after dinner, you know, it was like pasta bar or something where where there would be all these different kinds of pastas, salad bars, bread, everything. We would make late plates. So if like my friend wasn't going to be there at dinner, she's like, hey, can you make me a plate and put it in the fridge? It was like this communal fridge.
Yeah.
Which was great. But if it was a night that everybody went out, like at UW, like everyone out on Thursdays, if you made a late plate, you come back and there's just drunk girls eating everybody else's food.
That'd be
the worst if
sucks.
if you were like at work or at the library, like totally sober, just like you just wanted to come home and have a nice meal, and you get home and there's like 40 drunk people all eating all your food.
And there's like that'll happen all the time. And then people would post in the Facebook group like, are you kidding me? You ate my pasta. I've been studying for 8 hours and then I came back and like it's gone. It's like, what do you expect? Like it's a bunch of drunk chicks like come home and they're like, all I want is carbs, you know, like whereas girls don't normally like are obsessed with food until they're drunk and they turn into like crazy people.
Did you ever witness anybody like die or like
oh god,
what? like just like
seen anyone die before?
Well, no, because didn't someone fall through off a balcony when you were there or like
I mean there's like probably a lot of treacherous situations. Yes, there was like someone, at this like, one frat a girl fell off like this like rooftop and like broke her leg or something, but I didn't like know her.
Did
personally.
you ever went like? Did you ever?
I mean, did
someone get like alcohol poisoning? And they like cops had to come and like
all the
revive
time.
people and stuff.
Not revive
Friday,
people,
dude.
but there would be like there'd be nights where like there'd be girls puking in the toilets, and you're like, you know, we had 3 floors for one, so it'd be like we had the basement, and then we had like the main floor, where there was no bedrooms, and like 2 levels of bedrooms. So if you had like a girl, you'd come back and like you go in the bathroom, and there was like, oh god, there's like at least 1-2 drunk girl every bathroom, you know, of every night that people go out to party. And they'd be like laying on the bathroom floor, and it'd be like there'd be like levels, you know, you'd go in there, you'd be like, oh hey, so and so, like how's it going? And they'll be like, terrible. And you're like, okay, they're fine. And then you like there's ones that are like they're sleeping in their robe, no underwear, no clothes. You're like, are they conscious? Like they're just sleeping on the floor. You check with them and they're like didn't respond, and then you go and check if they're like breathing or puking, and you're like, oh, they're breathing, it's fine.
And
like,
then is there even a worse one than that?
Yeah,
then
like,
this person's like on the verge of death.
Well, yeah, and it's hard. I mean, none of us were paramedics. You know, we didn't know, and a lot of people are like. I mean, a lot of times I feel like in college, like in the sorority, it was like we probably should have taken them to hospital, but we didn't know, or like we're like. Oh, they're fine. They're just like foaming at their mouth. We're just gonna feed them more saltines.
She's breathing though.
You know,
it's
like,
fine.
Which apparently I learned like later on, like that you're not actually supposed to feed a drunk person bread. Like it doesn't actually do anything to them. Like
that's the go-to. That's what I was.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like alcohol goes into your bloodstream. Like apparently, eating is not gonna like doesn't make your body process the alcohol any faster because it's in your blood by that point.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is eating bread gonna do?
So
like,
what do you do? Just drink water, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, well, the thing with like. People that are that drunk, which yes, there were situations where we're like, we definitely, and they're at that point, if someone's that drunk, like you show up, you come home and you're like, oh my god, I had such a good night, and then you come home and there's like 8 girls surrounding like one girl, and you're like, oh gosh, like what is going on?
Ugh.
And then there's like drunk girls that are like trying to help and be like, oh, she's okay, just
that
like
picks
put
her up.
pillows up all around her. It's like no.
It's like you need to leave, like get out of here.
Go
You're
away.
no help.
If you're that sober one, you're like. Wait, no, like go away, drunk people. Like I'm dealing with this. Like, do we need to call 911 or not? You know, and like,
do you have any memories of like my friend group, like as a whole, like anything that we did or?
Well, you guys just like always did. I will say, like ever since you were a kid, I feel like you always did like challenges. Like you were not those kids where you're like, oh, let's just sit and play video games. Like for one, I remember you guys always used to play the Wii, and like I did love like when. You guys you'd have people over and you guys would all hang out here. Because I feel like as like growing up, like I was always the person that were like, I loved our parents, but for some reason, like I never wanted to have people over.
You rarely had
people. Always had people.
You always had people at our house. I think, and it's not like I said, it's not like I was ever doing anything like bad. I just think we didn't have a bonus room, and I felt like I didn't get, like, especially when I was in like high school. I feel like there was like no privacy, so I never like wanted to have people over. You know?
I will
like,
say though, like our friend group, we never to this day don't have like a friend that's a girl. Like
well, that's
a lot
true.
of people
Yeah,
in high school it was like
That's
co-ed,
true,
but our group
Yeah.
is
Just
a whole
just
bunch of
like
dudes.
8 guys.
Yeah.
And like
true. Yeah, so I feel like that's the thing. So like you always had people over, which I loved. Like when I was home and wasn't doing anything, like it's not like I'd always like join in, but it was just like fun to like hear you guys or whatever. And I
like
feel
we were
like
probably annoying though at times.
I mean, I think at that age, like, I didn't care. But yeah, when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, they're
these
so
little
annoying.
middle
They're
schoolers.
weird. Yeah, like when you guys were middle school, it was like, oh jeez.
Yeah.
Like, talk to a girl. But no, so
Exactly.
like, I know you played Wii a ton, and like I remember that when that was
We
like
got
a huge
really
phase.
good at Wii.
Yeah.
There was
You
a
would play
point-
Wii bowling.
Yeah,
and
I
it
was
was
such
like,
a good
how
bowler.
old are you?
Yeah.
87?
Like we would just always aspire to be on Kyle's level, but we never quite caught him.
No one ever got
Oh,
there.
you were the best.
I was
Wii
the
bowler.
I was the bowler.
I feel like you're like really athletic at like strange things.
Like,
Dude,
you're
I
good
at like weird
I'm
stuff.
really good at ping pong.
Kyle's good at like just the
And
obscure
badminton?
things that like
Like
it's
ladder
cool,
golf?
but it doesn't really like benefit your like it doesn't
Yeah.
like help you.
Yeah.
I'm good at real life bowling too.
You are good at real
Yeah.
Yeah, so now like if you guys go out like to
I'm gonna
Tech
join a
City
bowling
Bowl
team.
or whatever, like yeah, you should do that.
I'll be like the
You'd like
old
crush
dad
everybody.
that's like on a bowling team with like old people.
I'll do that, dude. That'd be fun. Like, cause that's a
Honestly-
sport you could just always do.
well, and I will say
some
like
of the best bowlers are in their like 40s
Yeah.
or 50s.
well, yeah, and now like being out of college, like I think everybody has this like mid quarter life crisis where they're like, wait, I don't play sports anymore. I'm not in college. Like I have
What do
no,
I do
and same
for
with you
fun?
guys. Like, what do I do for fun now? You know, I mean, you're super busy, but still, like, I'm like now I'm like I need a hobby. You know, and like I started golfing a few years ago and like love that, and I coach now and love that. But yeah, like for like young adults, I feel like everyone kind of hits this place where they're like, wait, I like have no hobbies to do anymore. It's like bowling, that would be a great idea. Like
we
pick
started
that
the
up
podcast.
again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's probably why we started the podcast, you know, and but stuff like that. But yeah, so going back to your like friend thing, I would say like that's one memory is like I always remember you guys playing that. And then like I do remember playing like Capture the Flag a ton and Kick the Can
Ooh,
with
yeah.
you guys.
I don't
Kick the
remember
can.
what even was kick the can.
It's like
Kick the
Capture the
can.
Flag, but you have to like someone's like protecting
Oh, yeah.
the can, I think,
Oh,
and then
I
you have to
remember
go and
I
kick
totally
it.
forgot we would play capture the flag. That was
We
so
play that
fun.
a
Yeah,
lot.
especially
And,
at your
like,
house because there's like lots of random.
We'd
stuff
have
around.
like a rule
Yeah.
where like you had to see you. It had to be like at least like
Yeah.
a quarter of it visible, but sometimes it was just like impossible to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah. So we played that a lot, I know. And like during the summer, I know during the summer it was fun because like you always had people over down at the beach and we would just like drink so much soda and you guys would take
so
all the
gross.
floaties, like 8. We have like our parents have so many floaties, like 3 inner tubes, that blue chair, like
Oh, the blue
all
chair.
these
I love the blue
floaties.
chair.
And you guys would be like, take all of them. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll sit on the deck,
Yeah.
like not go in the water. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things.
That's
like
okay.
that.
That's
We,
fine.
this is really embarrassing. One time we had a summer that was like we weren't even young. It was high school. We did like synchronized diving.
Oh, yes.
yeah, we went through.
Or you guys would do like, you guys would be like, oh yeah, let's do this really fun thing where it's like middle of winter and let's all go like jump off the dock and
Yeah.
like without our clothes on and like swim. I'm like, why? You think of the strangest things.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you would like
Make
always
things
videotape
interesting.
yourself and like, or like, and that's what I do love is like you guys would just, I feel like your friend group was just like so random and you'd be like, let's just like do this. Like, let's do this challenge where we like all drink or eat dry pre-workout and like see what it does to us. Didn't you do that?
Yeah,
once?
that sucked.
It's called the G Fuel Challenge.
Yeah.
that
And like we
was
just
gross.
like that stuff was really like was always fun. And I'm like, why can't like I never think of that? Like my friends, I mean, we did some stuff like that. Like one time we wrapped my friend Allie in like saran, completely wrapped her
we
in
never
saran
tried
wrap.
that. We could do that one.
We could do that after.
Like it was weird. I don't know why we did it. She was a gymnast, so she was very athletic, like very
So it's
tiny.
like, hey, you're athletic. Do you want to get wrapped in saran wrap?
Yeah, and like we took really weird pictures. Like we wrapped her in saran wrap, and then we were like, oh my god, this is fun. Let's all do this. And then we like went outside and rolled down our hill like we were little like logs, and like and it was soaking wet. Like,
Nice.
and then we like took really strange pictures, and we put like tartar sauce on our face,
Oh.
and like
That's a
then
new
we
one.
took like the horse. My parents have these like antique horses.
horsetails.
yeah.
We took the horsetails and we're like, oh my god, it's like our hair. Like
I
we
do
were
that. I did that
just
recently.
weird shit. Whereas
We
you guys
should-
did like fun challenges.
Yeah.
You know?
We should do like the peanut butter challenge where you like you paint your whole body in peanut
Oh yeah.
butter.
I'll do it.
Ew.
Yeah,
That
sure.
would be funny.
That sounds disgusting. Wait, why is that a challenge?
I
Like,
don't
Peanut
know.
butter, baby.
It's just-
that
yeah,
is
it's
so
peanut
much
butter,
money in
baby.
peanut butter.
That's a lot of
There's
peanut
a lot
butter.
of
Okay.
peanut butter. Yeah.
But I remember, well, my friends have done like we've done the cinnamon challenge and the saltine challenge. But, like that's about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say at work last week. This guy that sits next to me, Cooper, he's awesome. Like, shout out to him. But
Shout out to Cooper.
Shout out Cooper.
I
Not
actually think he
listening.
listens to this.
Hey.
Like,
Whoa.
I've
What's
got
up,
a few
Cooper?
people at work to be like, hey, listen to my other podcast.
go.
But
Now you'll have a good excuse to get people your
Yeah.
friends to listen to our podcast because you'll be like, hey, I'm on it.
I'm
Yeah,
famous.
check out how funny I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, while you're at it, check how funny these guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not nearly as funny, but So, anyways, but where was I even? Oh, I was saying the saltine challenge. So at work last week, like, I work in sales at a tech startup, and it's super fun. But some days it's like very monotonous. You know, you're doing the same thing, calling all these people who hate you, don't want to talk. So we just have to entertain ourselves. So the two guys, like Cooper and then the guy sitting across from me, like they were like, let's do the saltine challenge. And we have like little packets of like 2 saltines.
What's the goal? You just see how
So
many
you try to
in a
eat
minute?
5 saltines in a minute, and what it does, like the salt, like sucks up all your saliva.
See,
Oh.
that seems
So it's
so
like
easy. Like 5
Yeah.
Yeah,
saltines.
it seems really easy.
And they were like, "Oh, I can do it! Like I eat so much." I'm like, "Okay, like try
I
it."
eat
So
so much.
we set a timer, and they could barely get through 4, and they were like, like their mouth was so dry.
I could do it.
Do you guys have
We'll
saltines?
try it. We'll try
We
it
do
sometime.
probably actually.
Should we do it right now?
Do it right now.
Should we wrap it
Yeah.
up with the saltine challenge?
I'm down.
All right, I'll get. I don't know if we have them though.
Oh, you can
I
just
don't know.
check.
We have cinnamon. So cinnamon, the cinnamon
Oh,
challenge
I'm not
apparently is
doing that.
terrible.
That
Like,
can kill you. Someone died from that, I think.
oh god,
'cause they were
yeah,
like,
yeah, you're supposed to
and
eat like
then-
a spoonful. I don't recommend that one, but like you're supposed to eat a spoonful of cinnamon, and then it like poofs, and then you're supposed to
Yeah.
like
See, the
It, like,
biggest
takes
thing
all-
to those types of challenges is you can't like move around or like people put it in and then get all fidgety and they're like
Try to
cough
swallow it or
try to.
something?
You
You
have
have
to.
to just, like,
You
let
have
it
to be
sit.
really calm. You have to put it in and then just sit there
yeah.
and like let it
Yeah.
like do its thing.
Well, that's like when you guys did that donut. Didn't you do a Krispy Kreme challenge?
Dude,
when you
to this
sucked.
day, I still don't
Me
like
neither.
donuts as much as I did
Oh,
before.
I hated
I guess
that.
that's a way to make you like stop eating.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
like
that's-
let's do a challenge.
you were
and
talking
eat
It's
it.
true.
What's it called? Schick Shadle?
Yeah.
It's this smoking rehab.
It's like
center.
a drug rehab
Yeah,
hospital.
and like,
yeah.
but their whole approach to it is like, so for example, people that are addicted to cigarettes, they'll have them come there and
Yeah.
they'll force them to smoke a ton of cigarettes.
Ew.
Or like maybe they'll put something bad in it that makes you like
Yeah,
nauseous
to
or
the
something.
point where you get
Okay.
So it's like
sick,
you get sick of it.
and then they throw up a bunch, and like, and the whole idea is like it's a psychological thing to where you hate them afterwards.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it works.
I can see that.
And in those commercials, the main guy, those commercials are always so cringy. The commercial is, I used to be an addict. Now I'm not.
It's
You're like,
wow,
It's like, all right,
great.
sick,
to
dude.
know.
so much detail. Should I go look to see if we have saltines, and if not, we can just wrap it up.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, I'm down.
I
I've
don't
never
think we
actually done
do.
it.
I ran inside to see if we had saltines. We don't have saltines.
We have
but
like club cracker things.
we have like these cheese cracker things, which they're a little smaller. So we grabbed 7 instead of 5.
We'll see.
Very, yeah. Totally,
Probably gonna
totally
be impossible,
accurate.
but we'll just try it.
Okay, and I'm gonna start the timer because
Okay.
for some reason that we got on this subject, and now
Yes.
you're gonna do a food challenge.
And you can't
like
eat them
every
because
other.
you can't have like.
Yeah, I'm
basically
gluten free.
anything.
Remember, aka my
She's
life
free.
sucks,
Yeah, she's
but
free.
you know.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna start.
What's
the
your
timer.
tactic? You going 2 at a time?
I'm gonna go 2 at a time.
Yeah, are they even salted? Like, is it?
Yeah,
just
yeah,
there's
they're
work?
salt.
All the salts are in these little holes.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good
Salts
luck.
are-
All
what,
right,
you doing,
ready?
Set, go. You have a minute. Okay, that's awkward. Laugh, laugh and chew at the same time.
Oh my god.
Just focus. There you go. Deep breaths. Honestly, like the food challenges. I don't really get the point.
Ow.
What kind of satisfaction does this bring?
What my mouth?
Okay, almost halfway done. I think it's like gets harder each one probably.
Oh my
'cause,
jaw.
like, or like the liquid in your mouth, the saliva just starts to disappear.
You have to swallow it all by the end?
Yep.
Oh, hell no.
It's like the hot dog challenge where those people eat like 108 hot dogs or whatever. Barf. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god.
Barely.
Kyle.
My mouth
Oh.
got so dry.
Still chewing.
God. Dude, by that, like, my.
That's like that SpongeBob episode where he's like, water.
Yeah.
Water.
I just like swallowed and scratched the whole way down.
Yeah, dude. I tried to when I saw the time running out, I like swallowed way before I didn't chew nearly enough, and so it's just chunks of cracker.
Oh,
Have you ever like swallowed an ice cube and it like on accident and like sits right here and you're like melt.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the worst.
Oh, all right.
Gosh.
Well, that was unfortunate for me.
That was a really pointless
Yay,
challenge.
gold star. Like, good for you.
Anyways, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Peak to Middle School. Kyle, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at KyleStafford36 and Twitter at KStaff36. Follow the podcast at Pins Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook. Well, yeah, Facebook.
I mean, I guess we use Facebook.
Instagram, Twitter, most likely.
Yeah, and then it's available on every streaming platform. So whatever you guys like to use, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, all that stuff.
Also YouTube, as the experience. You could see our faces while we eat those crackers.
And if you want to see what my sister looks like, you can meet my sister, and like it adds a whole new component to it.
And you can see how close they look.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if you think that my sister and I look alike.
Definitely do.
Because I can't really see it, but I think that's because we're siblings.
We'll have to take like a side-by-side pic.
Yeah.
And be like,
yeah.
look at us.
Anyways, Morgan, where can they follow you if they want to follow you?
Wow, plug. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually had to pull up my Instagram because I didn't even know what my username was.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm really good at social media. But no, you can follow me at MorganFerrar12.
Okay.
So I made this in 12th grade, and I have yet to change it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, definitely behind the times, but on Instagram and
you don't use Twitter or
Facebook.
anything.
No, don't use Twitter. Don't even have Snapchat. Like I'm
Oh,
honestly
You're
old and irrelevant at this point, but still follow me.
No,
It's cute
I'm-
pictures of my puppy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like that. You're kind of trying to not like a lot of people are like addicted to social media, like Kyle and I.
Yeah.
And you're like
Yeah,
off of
but,
a lot of it. You're away from the stress. of
Yeah, I
social
mean, I
media.
honestly just like even when I go on, I just like to scroll through. But now it's all just people's babies and people getting
Whoa, that's
married, and I'm
scary.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, way too young for this.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways, you can follow me at Hey Narwhal on Twitter and Instagram, and we're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube. Maybe by the time you guys are watching this, we might already be at 100, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
holler.
There'll be a studio tour soon, and anyways, we upload every Monday and Thursday on this channel, and then there's new videos on my personal channel every Wednesday. And with that being said, see you guys later. Peace out.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.